Today, we venture further into the zoo. Beyond the restaurant, we've got a brand new area joining the zoo. But what area is that? Well, sit back, enjoy, and let's watch Stafford Zoo. What is up, everybody? That is right. My name is Blob, and welcome back to another episode of Stafford Zoo. Thank you very much for joining me, and thank you again for your crazy support on the last episode. But yeah, today we are going to be venturing beyond the restaurant here. And if you did check out the last episode, I was explaining to Gunther what the plan was for the area beyond this. And the two areas I had in mind was like a petting zoo area, or maybe like a North American area. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to let you try and guess which one I went with. So I'm going to give you a little bit of time here. That's right, don't think about it too hard. A or B? That's right. If you said C, none of the above, because I can't commit to my original plans and instead see one reference image and then pick something completely different to build for, you're completely right. So if it's neither of those, what have I built beyond this? Well, let's go and have a little look, shall we? Now, those of you that voted on the community poll for the animal, thank you so much. We may or may not be seeing one of those animals today, but fret not, if the animal that you picked wasn't in there, then there is a possibility that they may be coming in at a later date. And here we are into this area. Now, it's kind of a bit of a mismatch. So originally it was going to be like an alpine area for mountainous animals, but then I ended up picking some animals that weren't mountainous. So in the end, it's kind of like a tiger area. All the animals that you see here today are basically ones that live in a tiger biome, can live in a tiger biome. So that's the general gist of this area, and it's not fully like done. So don't worry, everything you see here isn't going to be the final finished product of this area. It is going to expand very much beyond what you're going to see here today. But we're going to go and have a look at our first animal here, and that is the alpine ibex. There was no way I was going to have these in like a tiger area. They've got one of the best models in the game. Absolutely love them. Like the male in particular. Like I'm very much a big shill for ungulates, where the males are just like complete units with huge horns compared to the females. Obviously, some of them you can't tell the difference, but alpine ibex are one of those species you definitely don't have a problem with telling the difference with. Again, using lion signs, absolutely amazing things here, and then we're using like some signs, but this is just a general, very basic habitat. You know, you've got like your moat around the edge to prevent them from escaping. It's just like an island for them, and then we've got these like viewing areas every now and then just around the edges. There we go. And then like this here, I have seen them use it, but I don't see them using it that much, so I'm starting to question whether it's actually usable or not. But whatever, if that is the case, I'll obviously sort that out at a later date. But yeah, that is our first animal, the alpine ibex. Again, one of my top 3 models in the game. Is such a good model. So yeah, and then we're going to backtrack a little bit here. I do like this this view here, or sightline, which reminds me, I'm actually going to sidetrack here very slightly. I put a community poll in the channel before, basically saying what things would you want from a tutorial regarding sightlines, without actually giving any consideration to people understanding or knowing what a sightline was. So it's going to take this opportunity to explain what a sightline is. So for example, this is a sightline, this is a sightline, this is a sightline, and even this is even a sightline, if you can believe it or not. So that probably doesn't do a very good job of explaining what a sightline actually is, but the top and bottom of it is basically this. The sightline is anything that you are able to see in front of you at eye level. So this is your sightline, but it's a bit more complicated than that. So obviously the door example is obviously like a joke, but it's more when you're compiling things. So obviously, like, you have your background, you have like what is in the foreground, and then you have like the middle portion here. So obviously the foreground is like the foliage on the sides, you've got the sign at the front there, you've even got this person walking toward us right now. That's all part of the foreground. The middle ground being like the habitat barrier as it wraps around, and the pathing. And in your background is like you've got that building there on the left at the back. We'll explore that a little bit later on. And even things like the trees in the background with the rolling hills, that's all part of the sightline. If there's certain elements of this that you struggle with, then this is the sort of thing that I need people to sort of let me know what they struggle with, just so that I can get a video out to you on how I personally do it. The more comprehensive the answer, the shorter I can make the video and not pad it out with too much guff. So that's the general gist of it. We're just going to go around here. This is going to be going off into another area, but obviously it's not going anywhere at the moment. It's just a hideous piece of terrain work for myself. And then we're going to wrap around here. And then on the left here, we have got some wolves. More specifically, the Arctic wolves. This habitat was originally built for grey wolves, or timber wolves rather. But I decided, we're going to get the Arctic wolves in here this time. They're such pretty models. I am using a remaster, I will admit, because it sort of fixes the shape of the nose and stuff. Where are they? Can't actually see any in here. It's kind of upsetting. Wonder where they are. We'll probably get a good look at them at the other side anyway. And then down here, it like meanders down here anyway. Again, I'm using a lot of terrain elevation, so obviously we start a bit higher up there, and then we're slowly slanting our way down here. It is worth noting I've not put much effort into how the zoo looks down toward this way from that end, because technically you wouldn't be entering this area from this way. You'd be entering it from the other side when that bit gets finished in the zoo. But yeah, so we've got this like staircase here that joins this up, because you're not really going to have a chance to get back up to that area here. But this is a habitat that is going to be coming soon. But don't worry, you'll definitely get to see this one in the next episode, because as soon as I finish this recording, I'm probably going to start building for it, because I'm so excited to get them in. And then as we turn around, we go back into this area, and we'll have another opportunity for viewing at the wolves. I've very much gone with a theme here. Like, even though it's a tiger area, I do feel like it has that North American feel to it as well. Oh, here we are now that we can get a really good look at the wolves here. Because here I've gone for this like rainforest. It's like it's almost like a fantasy sort of forest really, with how it's all built up. But I do actually have quite a few wolves in here, but God knows where they all are. We're actually going to have a look in here, because someone in the last video did ask if we could have a look in the habitats a little bit more, so that's what we're going to do. So even stuff like this is the stuff I'm putting like a little bit of effort into, because you've got like the trail cam here that looks out toward this walking stretch, but this is stuff that you don't get to see from either of the viewing areas, so I could just not bother with it, but I decided to include it anyway. I guess you look here, they all are back here at their like kennel, if that's what you want to call it. Really pretty models. Stunning animals, look at them. If you want to name any of these animals as well, by the way, let me know, and I'll quite happily add names in that you suggest. So got plenty of animals now that we can start picking names for people. And then we're going to wrap around here into the wolverine habitat. Now, if you're seeing a lot of these habitats and you think, these look very familiar, that's because they were originally part of a zoo called Snowtop Mountain Reserve. That zoo no longer exists. I've decided to merge the two together, so a lot of the habitats from that have made their way over to this. It's just been an absolute pain getting them to work on these different terrain elevations and getting them to fit all together, because this wasn't the original configuration for all of the habitats to work together. But yeah, this is one of the ones that was definitely going to make it over. Is this one stuck? I think you might be stuck. If that happens again, we'll have to have a look at that, just so that he doesn't get stuck. But the Wolverine, oh, it's such a good model. I will admit, I didn't really think much of it when it first got introduced into Planet Zoo, but now that I've like had it in here for some time, I've had a chance to actually admire it and enjoy it. It's quite the treat on the eyes. And then we've even got this like upper viewing area for if it's climbing around on the log. I've just got to finagle my way past this, because it's, so yeah, like here up here you get like a better view of the back of the habitat, and it using the climbing area, and then it's got like this little indoor area back here as well that it's able to use. But yeah, I really love this habitat. Obviously there's a bit of work to do on the exterior just to hide all of this guff, but for the time being, the habitat is complete, actually, unlike a lot of the ones in the tropical area, but we're not going to talk about that in this video. And then as we swing around, we are going to have a look at the staff area before we have a look at the final animal for this video. It's going to be a short one, but I wanted to bring you an update because this area has been so exciting to do and I've really enjoyed doing it. Up here, we've just got like a ramp that sort of leads to a quote-unquote main road. I may connect this up here as well, but I think I'm going to leave it as it is for now, as this being the only way to get in and out. Obviously, this isn't properly connected, but terrain work can be worked on after that. And then in here, we've got like our first proper staff area. So in here, we've got all these like buildings set up. We've got some skips. We've got markings on the pavement as well. And then this is going to get obviously changed as well, so that this wall extends all the way along. And then this around here, it's going to be your entrance into the next habitat that's going to be coming into this area as well. But yeah, really happy with how this looks. Very minimalist, not a lot of effort put into it, I will admit, but it serves the purpose of being able to have a hub that staff can actually operate in, because at the moment, if these two areas are technically separate, so all the staff that you see walking around in this area can't actually get over to the tropical area, because obviously the bridge that spans between the restaurant and the tropical area is actually non-functional, so they can't actually use that. So everyone here that you see is like stuck in this area, but once we join up this area up with the tropical area, then obviously they will be able to like move freely between them all. We will have a quick look in the ibex habitat before we have a look at our last animal. I'm trying to do my best not to spoiler it, but like pop through the fence here, and then we've got like a little makeshift backstage area. I'm probably not going to be doing much more with this. I just like to say I want to save the piece count for where it matters, and that's going to be on the habitats that guests actually see. A little bit of work here to do on the roofing in this area, but yeah, for the most part, this habitat is pretty much done. It's not the biggest habitat as well, I will admit, but I think it suits the need. Ungulate habitats are never really like overly big, so yeah. And then last but not least, we're going to pop out here, and then we're going to storm to our right, and we have this. As I work my way around, you may be able to get... Oh, they're all like hovering over here again. They do love this area over here. That's right. We have got some Arctic hares in here. God knows where they are. Please don't tell me that's the only one. There should be 3 in here, but... Oh no, there's one there, and one there. Oh, here they are. Look at these. Oh. It's such a good mod. Oh, but thank you for everyone who voted on the poll. Like I say, maybe one of the others will be coming in here as well at some point. So don't feel disheartened if the one that you voted for didn't make it in. But I've tried to make this look a bit like their natural habitat. So we've got gravel. Obviously, gravel isn't something that they would usually reside in. It would be quite stony and probably be more barren than this in terms of like your foliage, but like I say, I just wanted something nice to be able to look at, and I think this is a really nice habitat. I do want to do like a little shelter for them here as well. It's probably not going to be much. It's going to be like a small hutch for them to be able to get in and out of, but other than that, I think this habitat is quite nice, quite quaint. It's probably the word I'd use to describe it. It's a nice little filler as well. But yeah, that's our Arctic hares. They're so cute, honestly. I'm so glad I got these. Like I say, we're going to be using quite a few modded animals in this and remasters. Yeah, like I say, I do apologise on whoever did make this mod. I can't remember your name, but it's obviously going to be one of the usual suspects, like a monsoon or a narwhaler or maybe even leaf. But yeah, that's it. That's the area that we've been working on so far. But all of the plans that I did say in the last episode haven't gone completely out the window. Let's have a look. So, originally this river spanned up here. As you can see, I've now like closed it off. I've meandered the river down here. It was split here, but I just like closed this off. This is all now flat, which then means that this area here can serve as like the entrance area into a car park, or and then like an opening area full of certain animals. And then that means that the Arctic area, or the tundra area, taiga, sorry, area can spread up to this area here. I've got some really big plans for some of the animals coming here, and like I say, maybe we'll get some more guessing for those at a later date, but there's no certainty that these trees may remain. I may end up bulldozing these as well, but yeah, that's the plan. Car park, entrance, another area, and then it's going to be able to split off so that you can either go up here into this tiger area, or you'll be able to go across the bridge into the tropical area here, or I might even bulldoze some trees here and have another area down here, but we shall see. But at the moment, the Asia area and aquatic area is probably going to reside down here, and the Africa area is going to be up here. So things are still cooking along, even though, like I say, a lot of my plans have gone out the window. A lot of them still very much remain in their current state. But thanks so much for watching. If you have enjoyed this and you want to keep up with everything Stafford Zoo related, including the polls, feel free to subscribe to the channel as well. That way you can be informed of all of the stuff going on in the community tab and have your say on what is going to be in Stafford Zoo as well. I'm actually terrified to click on that goat because I think it may have died. It has. Anyway, on that cheery note, thank you so much for watching. Peace out. Love you all. Bye-bye.